Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's begin today's daily quiz with question number 1 on your screen. In India, the Wholesale Price Index, also called the WPI, is published by number 1, the Reserve Bank of India, second, the National Statistical Office, third, the Economic Advisor of Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and fourth, the Labour Bureau. The correct answer, as many of you would know, is C. The WPI is published by the Economic Advisor's Office of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The NSO, on the other hand, publishes the Consumer Price Index, that is the CPI. The reason why we are discussing this is because the wholesale price inflation has climbed up to 14.5% in the month of March. This mainly is because of the fuel price and the power price increase that is seen around the country. Now, as per the economists, it is nothing surprising because since January 2020, we have seen a constant increase in the wholesale price inflation throughout the country. The article also tells you this is the 12th month in a row that wholesale inflation has increased by about 10%. The month-on-month rise in fuel and power index was about 5.68%, which was more than double the level of the month of February. While a little bit of inflation is necessary to keep the economy going, this high inflation eventually results in the middle class and the lower middle class hitting the worst. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Number 1. The 6th schedule to the Constitution includes 10 autonomous district councils in 4 states. Second, the acts of parliament or the state legislature do not apply to the autonomous districts and autonomous regions or apply with specified modifications and exceptions. Third, the President of India is empowered to increase or decrease the areas or change the names of autonomous districts. Which of these given statements is or are correct? 6th schedule is one of those topics which all of you would have read in your Indian polity classes. The correct answer here is A. 1 and 2 are correct. Third statement is wrong because it is actually the governor's power. The governor of the respective state has been empowered to increase or decrease the areas and change the names of these autonomous districts. We have 10 autonomous districts in all spread across 4 states. As you know, this is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The reason why this is in the news is because one of the tribal councils in Meghalaya, that is the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, says that they don't agree with the recent Assam-Meghalaya peace accord. As you would know, the states of Assam and Meghalaya on 29th of March finalized the pact to divide 36.79 square kilometers of the disputed area. This ended the dispute on 6 of the 12 disputed areas between the two sides. However, the people of the Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council don't seem to be happy with this. According to them, the government should have first taken the consent of this Autonomous District Council as per the Rights to Fair Compensation and Land Acquisition and Rehabilitation and Settlement Act of 2013. Next, question number 3. Consider the following statements with regards to Khelo India program. Number 1. Sports is a state subject as per the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Second, Khelo India athletes under the scheme are provided annual financial assistance of 6.28 lakh per athlete per annum, which includes 1.2 lakh per annum, that is 10,000 rupees per month as out-of-pocket allowance, and 5.08 lakh for other facilities like coaching, sports science, support, diet, their equipment, etc. Third, Khelo India Center notified under the scheme at district levels in various states and union territories are eligible to receive rupees 5 lakh per discipline as one-time grant and rupees 5 lakh per discipline as a recurring grant. Which of these given statements about the Khelo India program is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All the 3 given statements about the Khelo India program are correct. This data has been taken from a recent statement made by the government in the parliament that was about the Khelo India program and the progress that the government has made in this program. The reason why we are discussing this is because the Prime Minister yesterday, while talking to certain school children in Gandhinagar, raised concerns about lack of physical activities, especially amongst the children. In fact, the National Education Policy has also stressed on the importance of physical education as per Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister was pointing out towards a Vidya Samiksha Kendra and how the physical activity parameters has to be looked into very carefully. This is why government's programs such as Khelo India have become extremely important for you to remember. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to the Chief of Army Staff in India. Number 1. Appointments to the office are made by the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. Second, The COAS, that is the Chief of the Army Staff, reaches superannuation upon 3 years in the office or at the age of 62, whichever is earlier. Third, General Maharaj Shri Rajendra Singh Ji Jadeja was the first Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army. Which of these given statements is or are correct? The correct answer here is D. All these three given statements about the post of the Chief of Army Staff in India are correct. As you would know, the reason why we're discussing this question is because of this announcement by the government that Lieutenant General Manoj Pandey will be the new Army Chief and he will take over the office on April 30th. He has made history since he will be the first person from the Corps of Engineers to hold this esteemed position. He will also be the first person from the combat support arms to take up this highest position in the army. The combat arms of the army include infantry, artillery, and the armored, and the new army chief does not belong to any of these. In fact, he is from the Corps of Engineers. It is expected that the current army chief, that is General Manoj Naravane, should take over as the new chief of defense staff. The article itself tells you that the service chiefs can continue in the office till the age of 62 or 3 years of tenure, whichever is earlier. While for the CDS position, the retirement age has been set to 65 without any fixed tenure as such. Next, we have a previous year question from 2020 from Science and Tech. In the context of recent advances in the human reproductive technology, pronuclear transfer is used for fertilization of egg in vitro by the donor sperm, genetic modification of sperm producing cells, development of stem cells into functional embryos, or prevention of mitochondrial diseases in the offspring. The correct answer here is D. This is a technique mainly used to prevent mitochondrial diseases in the offspring. Now, in the process of the pronuclear transfer, the egg of the mother is first fertilized with the father's sperm, which produces a zygote, and then in the next stage, the pronuclei of the egg and the sperm are removed from the zygote to ensure that there are no mitochondrial diseases that are passed on to the child. Thus, it is a process that results into a three-parent baby. It is called a three-parent baby because the genetic material is taken from one man and two women through the use of assisted reproductive technologies. Next, we have a fact of the day, and today we will be discussing about WHO and its relation with traditional medicine. Now, usually when you think of the World Health Organization, you don't really think about traditional medicines, but that is what has changed right now. The Prime Minister of India and the Chief of WHO will perform the groundbreaking ceremony of the Global Center for Traditional Medicine in Gujarat's Jamnagar today. Now, it's important to understand WHO's stand on traditional medicine. As per WHO, traditional medicine is a total sum of knowledge and skills and practices which are indigenous, and different cultures have used it over time to maintain their health, prevent, diagnose, and treat physical and mental illnesses. In Indian culture, therapies and practices such as yoga, Ayurveda, Siddha, all of these have been considered as a part of traditional medicine. In fact, out of these, Ayurveda and yoga are now practiced widely across the world and not just in India, while Siddha system is followed predominantly in the states of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Now, the Indian government has committed about $250 million to support this upcoming center. The center will aim to focus on evidence-based research, innovation, and data analysis to ensure that traditional medicine is spread across the world, especially in those areas where people cannot afford other orthodox medicines. Now, there's a reason why WHO has now felt the need to support this traditional medicine. WHO has said that 170 of its 194 member states have used traditional medicines and they support it in some way or the other. There has also been reliable data and evidence that traditional medicines do work in most of the cases. Now, many people are also highlighting India's role in the WHO finally recognizing and giving more importance to traditional medicines. In fact, in 2016, the Ministry of Ayush of the Indian government signed a project collaboration agreement with the WHO in the area of traditional medicine. The aim was to create a benchmark of training in yoga, Ayurveda, Unani, Panchakarma for traditional medicine practitioners across the world. Not just this, India's CSIR and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have also signed an MOU to identify the opportunities for scientific and technological advance and research in this particular field. So all in all, it has also added to India's soft power and has ensured that the entire world gets benefits from the advancements that are made in the field of traditional medicine. This is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.